So number 6 on my list, and it doesn't mean that it's the 6th least or most important. It's just, again, in a sequence, like I said, starting with the nutrition and building on that. They're just aspects. You can look at them as each individual blocks. So this section is stretching. And again, the goal is to make it personal, to make it relevant, to make it something that you enjoy doing. You may enjoy doing the same stretching routine. You may enjoy doing a different routine. Whatever motivates you to want to stretch. So I'm going to just run through some very simple aspects. I do the same routine often because it gives me a sense of where my body is for the day. I found that it fits all the different pieces. So I just start out with a very simple rotation. And again, the idea is a cross-referencing, moving my body in some way I don't move it normally. And then changing just a little bit that my head looks in the opposite direction of my rotation. And again, all these things are gentle and not to be in competition within myself, but just to feel and to start loosening things. And then from there, maybe I go just to, again, loosening my neck, being very careful, but just, again, easy head rotation, both directions, being aware, what does my neck feel like for a day, being very aware if I have injuries and all those different aspects. Working maybe to loosen my shoulders, rolling my shoulders in both directions, feeling the range of motion that I have in my shoulders. Can I pull them up? Can I pull them down? A lot of people are like this, and you may not even notice that your shoulders are up until you rotate them and you move them in some way that they're down. And then moving from there, working with maybe just a rotation of my hips, and feeling, again, a circular action, the loosening of that section, or I think of my hips as a big joint, moving that both directions. You may notice that one direction is easier than the other direction. Rotating through my knees, you see that from the side, just again, a gentle circular action. Something, it also helps that I'm loosening my ankles as I do this, so I'm stretching through my ankles as well. Then I may go to something simple like an overhead stretch, reaching up, reaching out, stretching and lengthening through my back, taking that stretch down to the ground. It may be that I can only stretch this far or this far. For me, I have long arms, I'm fairly flexible, so my stretching point is here. I'm not pulling, but I'm stretching. And then I can go through the sequence, whether I go here, out to the front, down to the ground, and again, doing a couple repetitions of that. Then maybe going for stretching my leg, feeling that this is lengthening and this is pulling down and stretching. And maybe your leg is at this angle. Whatever, again, that you feel is beneficial, and also this starts to challenge my balance, but my lengthening and my stretching in this. Taking that on, and again, this is just my program. You create your own program. I work on stretching here. This has been very critical for me as a rider to figure out how to stretch all of this area so that it's flexible and pliable. You notice in this stretch, my toe is straight. And then I may go on to this stretch. I'm doing the other side. And again, my foot is to the side. You'd be surprised just changing those little bit of angles make a difference. And a person may stretch this far. For me, because of my inherent feel, this is where I need to go, that I start feeling that all of this is opening up. And then maybe moving on where I actually turn my foot over. And again, I know that a lot of these are aspects from Qigong or yoga. And I'm just saying, I'm playing with these, finding what is relevant for my stretch. So this is another stretching element. It stretches a little bit different area in here. Maybe I go from there that I work on rolling. Some of the aspects are, again, which is for my spine, creating a rocking action. Can I do this? Is it easy for me to roll back over here? Some people it's very stuffed, and then this is all they can do, and that's fine. But again, I do this as a cross-referencing, staying in something that's different than I do in my normal process. Also, in a very simple way, letting my legs fall over to each side. And it could be that I look in the same direction as I'm rolling. This is a cross coordination exercise. Rolling my legs to the opposite side of my head. So can I bring them and put them in an opposite direction? And working with that aspect. Also maybe working with, again, the flexibility for riding is very huge. Creating a clockwise rotation in my hip in both directions. Noticing, oh, can I rotate one way, but I can't rotate the other way? Again, all of these are very individual. I encourage you to add other ones to your list, to your subtract ones. But the biggest point is even 5 minutes a day of checking in with your stretching.